This was in LA, this one was in Miami. This one, I was definitely being trafficked during this time. This one was from that time.
Sharlene Rochard wades through the pages of her past.
I wish I knew red flags, what grooming was. And I just wish that I knew that those were potential traps to fall into a sex trafficking situation.
She's emerging from decades of shame and silence to reframe her pain.
What happened to us already happened. We can't change that. But what we can change is people's lives going forward.
I stand here today not only for myself, but for every survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse.
Sharlene is one of the Epstein survivors, the lone Canadian to go public, part of a powerful force in U.S. politics.
This is not just about survivors. It's about accountability, fairness, and the promise of justice.
Amen.
She first came forward last November, sharing her story with other survivors, talking about Jeffrey Epstein's island, his Manhattan mansion, fighting for justice on Capitol Hill, in a PSA during the Super Bowl.
We all deserve the truth.
And at the UN.
Trafficking persists when systems fail.
I wonder how that felt when you start to sort of express what happened to you publicly.
It almost seems surreal. It doesn't feel like it's me. It's not easy. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole entire life, is start speaking about the parts of my life that were the most difficult.
Jeffrey Epstein died in prison in 2019, facing charges of sex trafficking minors. Since then, more survivors have come forward.
I was only 14 years old when I was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein.
I was one of dozens of girls who were forced into Jeffrey's mansion.
Then,
the Epstein files have just been released.
And further accusations of women being assaulted, trafficked, and forced to give sexual massages.
We're witnesses to crimes.
Sharlene grew up in Ontario.
There's that one.
She was 16 when she started traveling to the United States to model.
I moved to New York, I moved to Dallas, I lived in LA, I lived in Miami, I lived in Chicago.
And she was successful, booking multiple jobs a week.
I was full of ambition, and this was the first time that people had looked at me and told me that I was worth something. I was definitely going through a hard time when I did that one.
Eventually, she was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein.
It's always somebody older who can offer you advice, trips, financial stability, housing, whatever it is. That's how they bring you into the world of trafficking.
Sharlene says she was trafficked into her 20s, but unable to talk to others about what had happened.
I like to say that now I'm like a diamond, because the diamond's pounded and pounded and pounded, and then it's a rock, and it just becomes a diamond after so many years of basically being abused. That's literally how all of us survivors are.
How do you come out the other side of that?
At some point, it all becomes too heavy. And then I saw Lisa, and it was like I found my voice.
My name is Lisa Phillips. In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot in the Caribbean.
Sharlene and Lisa Phillips were young models together back in the day. Sharlene called Lisa and told her what happened.
I was really sad to know that she had gone through the same type of abuse that I had gone through. I never even knew that she had been on the island too. It's one thing to deal with the pain of what happens to you, but when you know it's happened to somebody else, it's not easy, you know.
It's very hard, and so I lean on Lisa a lot.
Sharlene, Lisa, and their survivor sisters are in Washington to honor one of the first women to tell the world about Jeffrey Epstein.
You share a trauma bond and a friendship bond, and everything that we share together, it's more than just friendship, it's sisterhood, it's family. It's hard. And Virginia was our family.
Virginia Roberts Giuffre, the young girl in the infamous photo with the then Prince Andrew, ignited a firestorm in 2011 when she went public, calling out a network of powerful people in Epstein's circle who she alleged trafficked and exploited young women.
Her story really represents, the fight that she had in her.
It's the 1-year anniversary of her death by suicide.
Sharlene gave us these butterflies, necklaces this morning. They're really beautiful and represent Virginia and her strength.
Survivors now use the butterfly as a symbol for Virginia, for resilience and transformation.
I want you to know you changed the world, sis. You really did.
Because she spoke, people like me learned we were never alone.
But politics are always at play in Washington. The day of the memorial, the U.S. Department of Justice posted that survivors should walk over to the FBI building and make a statement. Sharlene says they're more than willing to talk.
They've said publicly that they've called for meetings for us, but none of them have actually gotten any meetings with them.
The Department of Justice has only released half of the Epstein files so far, and what's public is heavily redacted, including names of alleged perpetrators.
It's not like they don't have them. They're not releasing them. It's the opposite.
Sharlene has given her lawyer the names of the men she says abused her.
Have you gotten a call from the DOJ since any of that happened?
Nope. DOJ has not contacted us.
In February, survivors attended a congressional hearing with then Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Attorney General Bondi, will you turn to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done?
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
Bondi refused to turn around and face the survivors behind her.
It felt like I was a little kid again, just asking for somebody to acknowledge me, to be honest. It felt really degrading that she just couldn't turn around and say, you know what, I'm sorry.
Even if some in Washington might not want to acknowledge them, the survivors keep at it, knocking on the doors of Republicans and Democrats.
When somebody abuses somebody, that person should be held accountable.
Trying to pass Virginia's law to remove time limits for survivors to file civil claims.
The whole system needs to be changed. It needs to be justice first as opposed to, all this rigmarole that you have to go to get to justice. It's frustrating.
There still has not been a single investigation or prosecution in the United States.
And then there are roundtable discussions with Democratic lawmakers and advocacy groups.
I thought I had made mistakes. I thought it was my fault.
The girl from Ontario sitting at the big table.
I thought I had put myself in these situations. That confusion is part of the system that is not accidental, and traffickers rely on this.
Thank you, Sharlene. That was really powerful.
Coming forward can be empowering, but there's vulnerability too.
It was really scary. I didn't know if I was going to get people not liking me anymore, not talking to me, or people supporting me. So I received both.
Where does your courage come from, do you think?
My courage comes from my children, and I think about them in every single press conference, every single time I speak, and I want them to be proud of me.
Here, do you want to take Minnie?
Sharlene checked with her kids before stepping into this glaring spotlight. Olivia, Trent, Liam, and Bella all supported her decision.
When she came out and she was like, I'm going to be talking about being a survivor, I was like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that. Like, I knew you guys knew each other, but that's a big thing.
People sometimes say, like, they don't believe her or they won't support, like, her story and what she's doing, so it was kind of scary. Like, we didn't want to get any, like, stalkers.
It was really cool, especially because she's, like, talking and actually being, like, a big inspiration for people.
I am proud of you. I love you.
I love you all.
This is a girl who really just wanted a future.
That future, dimmed for the longest time by abuse and trauma, now looking more bright.
It's because of us Epstein survivors that are telling our stories and just not letting the story fall into the cracks. And I do feel like we are making a difference with all of our advocacy work.
Sharlene transforming her pain into power.